Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. So we should be live here, Brother Keith.
Yeah, let me turn my phone on. Let me take a what it was. Facebook.
I hear us. I hear us on my phone. Is your phone working?
Well, I can't find us as
There
usual.
you are, right there. That's you looking around.
Ah, there we go. No, well.
All right.
Oh, here we are. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, Joe. Hold on 1 second.
All right. Folks, we got a great show for you today. Thanks.
Yeah, we do. I'm told.
He's got all sorts of things prepared for us.
A bagel. Right. I have a bagel prepared.
Ooh, nice.
Since last night.
You got my cup of coffee too, man.
Yeah, I got my mug of coffee. Well, what do you say we start this rock show, Joel? Grab your coffee, which we both have. Sit back and relax, and we'll be with you in a minute.
All right, off we go.
Let's.
From the Somerset Studios in Westchester, Pennsylvania, it's Smacked and Jack Live with your co-hosts Keith and Joel Slenderman.
Jack up your income, smack it in the face. Jack it up, smack it in the face.
Hey, I lost track of what I was doing there. That's why
Me too.
The blackout phase. So good morning, folks. We have a couple comments. Looks like Barbara's unable to make it. She has a meeting this morning.
Oh no!
But good morning, Tara. Thanks.
Hey, Tara's on. Well, have a good time at the meeting, Barbara.
Thanks for jumping on early, Tara. You are early today, aren't you? All right, Keith. How's that bagel going?
Quite tasty.
I'm wondering, is it a cinnamon raisin bagel?
Yep.
Is it everything? Is that
no? I'm not really into everything.
Yeah, neither am I.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I like everything except for the dried, reconstituted onions that they put on them. They're so strong; they kind of stay with you all day long, and they cut out all the other flavors on what you're eating to begin with.
I was going to suggest that while we're doing the show remote like this is a perfect time for you to have a bagel with anything on it because it would not offend me at all.
Yes, you are correct. Yes, I wouldn't offend anybody. Speaking of offensive smells, Joel, I don't know if I ever told you this shop used to be a barbershop. And there was a couple of sinks, one where my desk is and the other where my work table is in the back. And when they cut the sinks out and all that kind of stuff. And I've only been here a couple of years, so I haven't really noticed it. When did I move in, Joel? Summer 2007.
Yeah.
I haven't been in here that long, but every once in a while I will get the smell of sewage, like an open pipe or something like that.
Yes. Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Right. Okay. Yes, you've been here. And, sometimes I walk in and it's just really like overpowering. I'm thinking, out the back, there's a drain vent for at least my two. And I'm thinking maybe the wind blows over the top and somehow it blows into the building.
Filters back in. That. Yeah, of course.
Right. So there's during the COVID, while I've been ripping the basement apart, I'm looking at these the pipes, and I'm thinking to myself, I bet you they just ripped those pipes that the sinks out and didn't cap off the pipes.
Did not cap the pipes.
And of course, anything about plumbing, the P-trap dries up and you have no lock there, water lock, keep the gases out. So I'm thinking, it's like, man. And one day I came out last week and it really, out of my back room in the morning, and it really hit me and it seems to be like back in the corner where my glass cutter is.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm, it's like, wow, I got to do something. So anyway, the landlord stopped and I said, "Could you do me a favor? I'm thinking this might be what it is." He's like, "Okay, I'll send my guy over."
All right. Sorry. Good.
We can't have them on the show, but they still have to interrupt, right? Well, I tell you, that Linderman clan over there. Good morning, girls and ladies. Ladies now, I guess all of them, right? So anyway, the guy came. He cut the pipe. Beyond that, he put a cap on it. And I'm telling you, this just smells like an old building now. 13 years I've been dealing with that.
So he capped it off, and you're good.
Yeah, and I haven't.
Wow.
I said, sometimes it'll smell like a frame I cut last night but it does not have that, which is actually not very good for you.
I know
gases.
exactly what you're talking about, because in our laundry room when we had the washing machine up against the window, I had that open pipe there.
Right.
And then I had to pour water down there because that trap would dry out, and you could start smelling stuff come back up.
And I have noticed that.
Yeah. So
I figured it was
the same thing. How about that? Well, good for you. I'm glad we have that solved, because that was not very attractive to your customers, right?
No, I'm thinking it's like, man, somebody comes in there, they're not going to come out and say, "The heck did you have to eat last night?" or "Should you go to the hospital?" or but sometimes it smells that bad in here. So anyway, that's enough of my rant. Joel, what's going on this weekend? We got a lovely backdrop. Fall has fallen.
Before we get to the fall, though, I just want to touch a little bit about our hybrid school week.
Oh yeah.
We started kids back in school, and it's actually gone kind of well. So what happens, Keith, is that we have cohorts. So I'm not going to say half the kids, but some of the kids come to school and are in classroom right in front of us, and they're kind of seated distance throughout the room. While the rest of the students are online. And then the next day, it kind of swaps so that the kids who are home are now in school. And then I travel, I have my backpack on. It's like I do a Smack and Jack show in every classroom, because we got to bring the microphone, the computer, the speaker, my backpack, my keyboard. I'm carrying around my piano keyboard, the whole place.
Oh, good.
And all the other teachers are doing the same thing. So it's been interesting. Yesterday, the funny thing, yesterday I had a third grade class that had literally 3 boys in it, and that was it. Everybody else was online.
Okay. Now, how does the rest of the class see the virtual kids, or is it just you that see the virtual kids?
Well, this past week it was just they pretty much just saw me.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get it so that the kids at home can actually see all the kids in the classroom as well. But essentially, our class is like what you and I are doing right now. You're way over there, and I'm here, and we're doing what we can. But it is interesting. It actually went a lot better than I was expecting.
Okay.
The first 2 days this week, we didn't have anybody online, so we were just focused on the kids in front of us in the classroom. And then the next 2 days, we had the kids in the classroom plus the kids at home together. And that's the way we're going to go. So we're going to be online and in live instruction from now until I don't know when. But it was interesting. It is definitely interesting. So
now, I imagine this is the kids whose parents feel it's okay for them to go, a couple of kids to be in school. And then the rest of them, they feel that it's not quite ready to go back yet. Exactly.
Yeah, there are some who have elected. Morning, Kevin. Some who have elected to just stay home and be virtual, pretty much the entire year. Okay, so that's an option. Other parents like Stephanie and I, we went ahead and let our girls go back to school this week. With obviously they're wearing masks. There's half the number of students, less than half the number of students in school. So we're comfortable with that. We felt that our girls needed to get back, and the girls wanted to go back too. So we're comfortable with that. So
now there is, I would imagine say everybody wants to come back next week. You're not going to let. There's still got to be a limit on your people.
Basically how we did it was A to L, I think, is on one day. Last name's A to L. And then M to Z is on a different day.
Okay.
They go back and forth.
Yeah.
So we could literally do half the school one day, the other half the other day.
Okay.
That's how we would work that out.
Okay.
It was an interesting week, and going forward, it'll become more comfortable and all that, but it is kind of interesting. So But anyway,
good, Joel.
let's move on, Keith. We have so much to get to today. Now, 2 weeks ago, I had to cancel the show unexpectedly.
Right.
You may recall we were going to have our fall celebration then, but speaking to our engineer and contractor for our place in Collingdale, 9 o'clock that Saturday morning was the best time for them to meet. So I thought, you know what, I better get down there because we need to get this thing rolling, right?
And remind us that house has had a visitor earlier this year.
This house had a visitor. It was kind of like a drive-in. I guess
it wasn't drive-by.
It was not a drive-by.
It was kind of a drive-through. Almost, it was a drive-through.
Had it been a drive-by, we would not be talking about this right now. But it was a drive-through, a drive-in, if you will. So let me show you some pictures, Keith. Obviously, the car's not there anymore, and the contractor has gone in and cleaned out all the bricks and debris that was in there. Okay. In addition, they cleaned out, like they stripped the interior walls so that the engineer and the architect could see what was there as far as structural support and so forth. Okay. So this is what these are the pictures that I took when I was down there. So let me go ahead and bring up our screen share here. So this is the outside of this gem of modern architecture. As you can see, all the support is still there. Can you see all those weeds around here at the bottom? I don't know.
Yeah.
All the weeds there. I'm sorry. I'm going to come out of here for just a second. I'm going to turn off our banners. Let's turn that one off. And as we're doing this, go ahead and type in your favorite thing about fall, if you would. That would be fantastic. Anyway, so all the weeds down there, I sent a note to my my grass cutting guy. I said, look, I mean, the place looks bad enough as it is. Can you at least cut the weeds around the front there? I'm paying you to do that. So hopefully that's being taken care of. Okay.
So I guess he figures that that's messed up. We'll just leave that alone for.
I guess, I've had this conversation with him before all this happened years ago, but that is still property that I'm paying to be taken care of. Anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there is that beautiful structure. This is, this wall over here is right where the car came in. And you can see a close-up on this side of what the bricks look like. It's kind of funny. They actually infused wood into these walls back then.
Wow. Now, how old is it? Is this from the original house?
This is not part of the original house. This was an addition. So it's this part itself is probably close to 100 years old by now. 85, 90 years old. I'm not really sure. Okay, so that's where the car came in. This is, they stripped the ceiling. You can kind of see where all the electricals are here. Most of that looks pretty. See that steel I-beam there, Keith?
Yes.
Well, the engineer said that is not actually up to code, and there's 2 of these that will need to be replaced. I'm like, what? So apparently they're not big enough to carry the load that's on top of them.
Wow, no kidding.
So that's got to be replaced to bring it up to code there. Yeah. So, all right, here's a little bit more of the ceiling area. And they said they'll have to butter this up in this area, meaning secure all these bricks and all that. This is, okay, this is the big window wall there. I don't know if you remember that, Keith.
Yes. Yeah.
This below here, that's the wall. So fortunately, all of this wall is going to come out. They're pretty much removing the exterior wall. Thank goodness. Now, I told them, Keith, I said, gentlemen, I would not be surprised for 1 second if you told me this whole thing had to be torn down and rebuilt. And they're like, no, there's, we can redo this.
I mean, if you look underneath it, it looks like the sill plate down here in this one picture. It just looks like there's bricks shoved underneath it, and
it's a mess, man. I don't know how this thing has stood the test.
I guess they've built. Well, let's think down in Maryland where Linda is. I notice a lot of these real old houses are built on brick foundations, and that's why they're all kind of sinking into the ground. I mean, I never thought that brick was like a structural.
Keith, some of this brick is like a sponge, and it has sucked up so much water. It's powder. It has turned to powder.
Yeah.
Literally, I don't have a picture of it down. One of these bricks is just powder. So fortunately,
Isn't that crazy?
honestly, fortunately, this happened. We're going to tear all this out and rebuild it. They're going to rebuild it with 2x8s, not with brick.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, and then just a little bit more in here, a little bit more of that particular wall that we were just looking at. And here's the ceiling over those windows. This is all going to come out. Now
go back to the original, the outside picture.
Okay. Right there.
Yeah. Okay. Now, so there is still, now that guy's obviously not living up there, but how's that top room?
There's definitely obviously some cracks in the drywall and so forth up there, but all of this brick is going to be coming out. So they're going to cut a line all the way down here and then support that, rebuild it with 2x8s and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that guy's not up there. He's been gone since the night it happened. So
yeah.
But,
I don't blame him.
Apparently the roof, it's not leaking, so the roof is still in good shape there. Unfortunately, the roof is only a couple years old. So
is that a flat roof?
Flat roof, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
So that's our little trek through our place in Collingdale.
It's funny that the outside of the brickwork is just so pretty. It's like
it is. Yeah, it's the creme de la creme of brickwork there. Yeah,
but it's just that should be a facade, not part of the actual structure.
No, fortunately, when they redo it, they're going to put like veneer brick on the bottom, I think, and vinyl at the top. Yeah. Hopefully, it'll look pleasing to the eye. It'll look better than it does now, I hope.
Yes, I think anybody will. All right, who's on here with us this morning?
All right, why don't we say hello?
Jewett, hello, Kevin, and looks like that's all we got right now, but that's okay. What else we got going on, Joel?
Background, huh? Yeah, I thought
yeah, it is very pretty.
A little bit before the show, and I thought, man, I better put something fall-like in that background instead of the old blah one we had before. Hey, Kevin, good to see you. And let's see, the leaves on the ground. Tara, I agree with you. The leaves on the ground. The only problem, Keith, with leaves on the ground is what?
Motorcycle riding.
Oh, okay. So that's leaves in the street. Very good. Motorcycle riding.
Oh, well, on the ground as well. You have to rake them up.
Eventually you got to clean them up, right?
Yes.
And Joy, pumpkin everything. Joy, are you a like a pumpkin coffee and a pumpkin beer type person?
I'm thinking she might be. She might be.
Do you like pumpkin beer, Keith?
No, negative. I went down to Linda's last week, and there's the brewery down there in the Chesapeake City is Bayheads Brewing. Really neat place, and they got some really good stuff. And I picked up as they had a pumpkin coffee stout, something like that. Yes,
indeed.
Yep. So I got one, and it was split it 3 ways. It was 16-ounce can, and it's like I really struggled through it just because I wanted to get into the season. Brad couldn't finish his, and Linda took about an hour and a half to finish hers. So
well, good. That's good for moderating. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's
I'm okay with maybe just a couple sips of pumpkin beer, but I like kind of the autumn beers, which are more like a cinnamon or something like that in there, or some little bit of a spice, not necessarily a pumpkin flavor though.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's move on. Let's see what leave the leaves fertilizer. Yeah. Thanks.
Really? Yeah. Good idea. Yep.
Yeah. Mulch them up. And actually that's what I'm going to do today. I mulch out in the yard, and then I'll clean up whatever doesn't get mulched up and put them out on Wednesday. Okay. So let's, Keith, let's take a look at, a little bit about whether you say fall or autumn. What do you normally say?
Did you say autumn or awesome?
Autumn.
Okay. When you were talking about the autumn beer, I thought you were talking about awesome beer. I'm like, well, beer's awesome anyway. Why is he saying awesome?
Well, apparently not the pumpkin, right?
I don't say autumn because it's hard to say. And it's 2 syllables instead of 1. I take the easy road.
Of course. Right.
Whenever I can. So.
I hear you. All right. So let's get back. Let's get out of this ugly picture of that house there and go to autumn or fall.
Autumn.
All right. To be or not to be, autumn or fall. Poets. Okay, so this is I stole this from somewhere. Merriam-Webster. This is a little bit blurred from them. Poets continued back in the day to be wowed by changes brought, and in time the phrase "the fall of the leaves" came to be associated with the season of autumn. This was shortened in the 1600s to fall. So going back as far as the 1300s, we see autumn being used. But it wasn't until about the 1600s that they started using the word fall. Both autumn and fall were born in Britain and both immigrated to America. But autumn was by far more popular term for quite a long time. In fact, the autumn sense of fall wasn't entered into the dictionary until 1755, when Sam Johnson first entered it into the dictionary of the English language. So that's pretty long ago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that means fall's been around for quite a while.
I mean, let's just hope that I know right isn't going to be around that long.
Oh my gosh. Seriously?
Oh, are you kidding? I didn't even set up my drums today. Oh, this is horrible. Anyway, Kevin said not seeing comments. It's everybody else's comments. I can see comments.
Not sure, but comments are hidden. Is that true? Huh. I don't know what to tell you there, Kevin.
Facebook. I'm telling you, we were supposed to have a meeting with what's his name?
With Mark, right?
Is that his name?
Yeah.
And he was hanging out with that guy that was painting his face orange for the holidays. Can't remember his name, but anyway.
Okay, let's move on, Keith, before you digress.
Yes, I don't want to digress.
What is the statistic about weddings in fall? The autumn months have more weddings than the winter, summer, or spring ones. How does the fall impact senses in autumn? Psychoanalytics note that in fall, many people have a dulled sense of fear. Does fall have an impact on longevity? Yes, scientists have found that people born in the fall live longer on average than those born in other months. Why? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
What was the use of pumpkins in the old days? To remove freckles and cure snake bites. Now, of course, they're one and the same, right? Freckles and snake bites.
Right.
What is the fall's full moon called? The harvest moon, because in late summer and early autumn, many crops would ripen all at once.
I believe it's also a name of Neil Young's album, one of his albums. Am I right, Myron? I think Harvest Moon is one of.
That could be. I would not be the one to ask about that, but it could be. Why was the full moon important to farmers? In late summer and early autumn, many crops would ripen. This made farmers have to stay in the fields longer, and moonlight became essential to their harvest. How many apples does it take to create 1 gallon of apple cider? About 36 apples.
Wow.
A lot of apples, right?
Yeah.
Here's the one that we need to be aware of here. What happens in the Oktoberfest in Munich, Germany in each autumn? The festival began as part of a crown prince's wedding celebrations in 1810 and has continued since. About 1.3 million gallons of beer are poured during the festival.
That's awesome. It's extended that festival from 1939 to about 1947. I think the world had been a lot different, Everybody's just, this crazy man yapping off. They're like, shut up and get me another beer.
Yes, I know. What preparation do the trees take for winter? One of the most stunning signs of autumn is the turning of the leaves. The shorter days are a sign of trees to begin to prepare for winter. During winter, there's not enough light for photosynthesis and so on and so forth. Interesting about trees. All right, is that it? All right, and then Keith, we do have a few pictures here. Now, I did put out a request for pictures to be sent in for your favorite pictures of fall and so forth. And of course, we were flooded with pictures. So much so that I had to go out and kind of weed through people's posts to grab some pictures for this particular segment. Yes. So this is from our friend Al Teeny. You remember Al Teeny or the Teenies from St. Mary Magdalene?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So Al's down Blue Ridge Mountain.
I think I knew Tony. Wasn't there a Tony?
I believe that was his older brother. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Blue Ridge Mountain, Virginia.
Now, before you switch there, Joel, what else does that look like? Before I read the Blue Ridge Mountains, I thought it was Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania.
Ah,
Yep.
you are, well, I agree. It does remind me of that as well.
Yeah.
Keith, here's one. This is from Lehigh River, Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, from our one of our friends from school, Denny Waldman. This is Jim Thorpe's only about what, an hour and a half away.
Yeah, not very far.
So this one definitely reminds me of the Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania.
Uh-huh.
So that's beautiful. We pass by there when we go up to the Poconos. All right. This one is from Mark Gamble, another Garnet Valley family, and actually a St. Mary Magdalene alumni.
Okay.
Fall color. Look at that. Letchworth State Park area, Keith.
I see that.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I was quite a young lad when I last was at Letchworth State Park.
Letchworth, yeah. All right. So this is Kinzua Bridge State Park in Mount Jewett, Pennsylvania. From Russell Dalton. This is one of the motorcycle groups that I'm in, and I thought this was really intriguing to me. So this place is about it's a bit north of Pittsburgh area, close to like Erie, that area.
Okay, yeah.
But apparently, this is an old an old train trestle. As you can see, most of it's fallen down.
Right.
But they've secured the part where you see all the people on right now, and apparently, it's like one of the most visited state parks in the country.
Wow, no kidding.
Because of this, and there's a glass floor on the bridge, parts of it. Yeah.
No thanks.
Very interesting. So Kinzua Bridge State Park. So look that up if you're heading west. It looks very intriguing. Now, the other pictures he showed, the place was packed. It was mobbed. As you can see, there's a lot of people on the bridge there. And this is just from last week. And there's cars, all lined up to get into the place. So,
wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah, very neat. Very neat.
And this one came from Linda.
I recognize.
Thank you, Linda.
Yeah, very nice.
Beautiful picture. I believe this is probably out there. It looks like at the end of your driveway, right there on the wall. Yeah. I love those planes. I forget what they're called, but what are those called?
I don't know. If they were English, they'd probably be called mums.
Yeah, they're mums, right?
I believe they're mums.
Along with the little squatch on the next
Actually,
side.
they're not mums, but Linda, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay.
From
Coltsboro. Okay.
Yeah, this is where we are, Big Bass Lake. Now, I will say, Keith, that this is probably not the best picture of the lake. When I drove by the lake in the morning of this day, the sun was coming up and hitting those trees. It was beautiful. But I didn't stop.
I see two dots. Is that the girl swimming out there?
Oh, yes, that's them out there just last weekend.
Yeah.
The water was a nice tepid, very, very
all the way up to their necks. Yeah. Okay. Very nice, Joel. Yeah.
So I thought there would be some good. Now I see Kevin. Number one, Letchworth is a beautiful place, Kevin. Stephanie and I were up there. Gosh, when was the last time? I guess it was before the girls were born. We went camping there for a few nights. Beautiful area up there. Very close to Niagara Falls too. And
didn't you take your motorcycle up there once and stay in a tent or something like that by yourself?
I don't think when I went by myself, it was up kind of in Maine. I went up to Maine. So it's a little bit more that way. Yeah. And then Kevin, it looks like you've been to Kinzua. Yeah, cool. That's definitely something that we want to get to. So
yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, so I thought those are some nice.
Yeah, and those were from Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is quite a diverse state. It's very large, and like you said, an hour away, you can get quite different setting, from where you every day, So yeah.
Right. So Kevin, you grew up near there every Columbus Day at Letchworth. Nice. What is Columbus Day?
I don't know, but I've got to tell you what. Now that I'm working for the man, I don't care what they call it. They call it time and a half day, plus we're going to give you another day off and paid next week.
Nice. There you go.
That's There's no way. Hopefully they'll change the name of it soon, but they're never going to get rid of that holiday.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like Columbus Day / Indigenous Peoples Day now.
Yeah, and that's what it should be called.
Which I definitely agree that it should be. So what else did I want to say about that, Keith? Pennsylvania, yes. So when we were looking for our Pocono house, we first we were thinking of like Vermont and New Hampshire and all that because it's so beautiful up there.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like where we are in the Poconos, certainly rivals Vermont.
Yeah,
in my opinion. You know, you saw that picture of Jim Thorpe. I mean, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that whole area, it's just beautiful. And it's it's less than 2 hours away. So you are absolutely correct there, and I agree.
Right, and if you don't have
on,
go ahead.
Let's move on because it is 9:46, brother.
Oh goodness sakes! All right,
yep. So, shall we do jokes? Did you have history?
No history today, Joel. Now we're running late. I got to open the shop very soon, so let's
do our jokes. Give everybody a little laugh, and we'll get out of here.
Okay, let's do that.
All right. Got your drum set ready, or you got your pens or something? All right. So he's going to get his equipment. The equipment of the show that he needs to set up. That takes a good 27 seconds. There it is.
Oh, I always hated being the drummer. The singer comes in with a microphone. The guitar player comes in with a little tiny guitar, maybe a little amp to go with it. I got to bring in this thing.
Right.
I mean, how much this thing weighs?
I semi.
All right, let's get the jokes rolling, Joel.
I was going to mention try owning a pickup truck when you're in a band as well.
Yeah, no, I decided to wait 35 years.
Yeah, well, that was a good move on your part.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah.
When you own the truck, then you're the one loading it. Okay.
Yeah, right.
All right. Number one, what do you get when you mix a bird and a blender?
What?
Shredded tweet.
Oh, yes. Very good, Joel.
All right. Number two, what shape is like a lost parrot?
What?
Polygon.
Polygon.
Number three, what do you call a bird that's been eaten by a cat?
What?
A swallow. Last one, folks. Last one. We want to leave on a high note. What do you call the second bird that's been eaten by the same cat?
What?
An after dinner tweet. Wikipedia, folks, do not go and try to buy it.
I think they made one of them, and for good reason. Yeah, but I tell you, there's some good jokes in that book, Joel.
Oh, very good. Very good.
So, hey, Joey's here. Hey, Joe, what's happening, man?
Yeah. Okay.
Better late than never. I think we got to move on.
We're ready to be done.
Yeah. Are we going to be around next week, Joel?
Well, I will say yes. I may be broadcasting from the mountains, but we now have Wi-Fi and internet connection at the house.
Great. I was wondering because we didn't do it last week, and I was thinking you could just do it up there, but then I was
we didn't have any
connection.
It's tough when you don't have actual cable connection.
Yeah.
So so let's plan on a show next week.
Okay.
Most likely be remote.
Yes.
We'll go from there.
All right, sounds great. Thanks for stopping by, guys. As always, we appreciate you. And if you like the show, like it and love it and support it.
Smack the like button, love the love button.
Yes. And remember, you deserve a thought of your own.
So be in touch to learn, laugh, and live. We'll see you next week.
Great week, folks.
All right, take care.
Jack up your knees, smack that in the face. Check it out, smack that in the face. Jack up your knees, smack that in the face. Jack it up, smack that in the face. Jack up your knees, smack that.